Big man, let's get to this, man.
You're excited, innit?
I don't know if excited is the right word, but I think this next conversation is a conversation that we should have.
Let's do it.
I think it's a good conversation because I think a lot of kids today pee me off. Yeah, they irritate the hell out of me.
Yeah.
They annoy me. When I'm in McDonald's, I'm getting frustrated the amount of youngsters I see outside.
Okay.
When I'm in town or I'm at the Keys, I'm getting annoyed by these youngsters on their bikes.
We were them, by the way.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to remind you that we were them.
It's just a reflection. I I hate the younger me. If I saw myself in town, I'd probably want to punch me in my own face. You know what I mean?
Although we're not encouraging punching.
Yeah, of course. No violence. Okay. I was gonna say a joke there, but I thought I'd say that as well.
Comedian,
good man. Good. National service.
Okay.
National service. There is a conversation out there that we should bring back national service.
What
specifically
is
meaning
national service? Specifically
meaning that teenagers, possibly between the age of, I think previously it was 17 to 18. I think it should still be that. I think from the age of 16 through to 21.
So school leaving. Basically.
School leaving, yeah. Should serve in one of the national services, specifically the Army, the Armed Forces, yeah, whether it's the Army specifically, whether it's the Navy, those sort of things, it should serve. Previously, it was for 18 months.
Yep.
And then they were on a 4-year, could be called up 3 times if needed. I think we should bring that back.
You're ready to bring back. So, are we talking about everybody, or are we just talking about specific people?
Okay, shout out to I was going to say a joke again. Jesus. Shout out to the LGBTQ community. I think if you identify as a man and you're able-bodied.
So we're talking males.
Yeah,
because the previous one was males only, wasn't it?
Yeah. Able-bodied. Mm-hmm. Of right mind, meaning no mental health diagnosis or anything like that, you should serve.
Okay.
Yeah. The only ones that shouldn't serve are those that are, I think, this is what I think should happen.
Well, say your opinion, my brother.
Big man,
talk your truth.
Unless the child can pay a specific amount of money.
To who?
To the government.
You want to give government more money?
Facts.
You want the government to have more money?
Not the specific government, but this arm of the government, so national services, whoever runs that, they should be given. Look, if you don't want your child to go into the national service, national service, you have to give 10 grand.
Jeez.
5 grand, something like that.
Just on top of
5 grand in the stone.
You're already paying.
Facts. That's
national insurance.
Facts. That's how we should do it. Either pay 5, either 5 or 10. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Just pay a certain amount, or your child has to go and serve. They have to do at least 18 months. I'd say, yeah, 12 months, 18 months, full, straight up and down, and it should be proper military stuff. And there's reasons for that, but we can talk about that later. And possibly females as well. Yeah, possibly females as well. But specifically, anyone that identifies as a male.
So are we saying this is for everybody?
Talk to me, what do you mean?
So are we saying it's for people that are... So what we say in the industry is neat, not in education or training. So good. Say you're, I don't know, Arthur, you're 16 and you're doing an apprenticeship with your dad. Are you saying he should serve, or are we saying if you're not doing anything between these years? So if you're not in education or training or have a job or wherever...
Good. I love it.
Are we saying we should be taken out of that to serve, or are you saying if you're not doing it, you should serve?
So if you're not doing that, you should serve immediately enrolled.
So it's mandatory.
Immediately enrolled. Okay. If you are in an apprenticeship or in education, then you can defer it for up to 2 years. For up to 2 years. Yeah. But then you have to serve it.
So it's mandatory for every young person.
Amy. But if you pay a certain amount of money, you do not have to run service. Boom. So if they are on an apprenticeship, Rasta, you better buckle up and save that 5 grand, because in 2 years you're gonna get called up. If you can't do it, boom.
So you're saying 5 bags to get out of it.
I don't know technically the amount of money. I don't know just yet, but there has to be a specific amount of figures, money, and that should be put on a table.
So it's like, to be fair, I hear what you're saying. I'm not even out here saying I don't agree with it, but I hear what you're saying. It's an incentive. Because there is a lot of children, young adults, that are doing nothing with their time.
Talk to me.
So I guess having that there, either you pay $5,000 in 2 years, or you go and serve right now.
Yep.
I hear that.
I love it.
Because imagine that's hanging over your head, knowing that
I love it.
you could do nothing for 2 years.
I love it.
But you haven't got money to pay. So rather you don't go at 60, now you go at 80.
Hear the difference. We're shocked and horrid by this, but what happened previously was...
So 1960s.
Back in the day, even before that, I'm talking about when...
Well, that's when it ended.
That's when that ended. But when... Just what happened in education. They said when we left that your education has to go until you're 18.
Yeah.
And it stopped at... But for us, it stopped at 16.
Yeah.
So we can run and do things. So what I'm saying is maybe even start at 16 and say, look, you can either from 16, either continue in education... Or,
so you basically got 4 options.
Yeah, man, give the people them options.
Education, apprenticeship, work, national service.
I don't even know if they could do work.
Yeah, you can work at 16.
No, what I mean is, I'm not saying it should be an option. I don't think you should be getting a job and work and instead of going to the forces. But I'm saying even if you do national service, there should be a paid national service.
Okay.
So you do get paid to some extent. It may not be a huge amount of money, but you're going to come out of there with enough money, and you're going to be in service. So therefore, I don't know how the ins and outs of it's going to be, but your general costs are going to be fairly low.
Okay. So what about the long-term implications on your mental health?
Yes, I'm all for that. All for that.
So sending juveniles that are 16.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can't go to war until you're what, 18, 21 even maybe.
I'd say 18 probably. I don't know.
So there's an age like 16-year-olds here anyway. Obviously, different countries have different rules, but I'm sure here 18's least minimum. It might even be 21.
Now, let me put it in this context as well. I think there needs to be a revamp of how we do army / I don't even know the right word. Military forces throughout the world. Armed forces, military forces throughout the world. Because I'm not saying because someone's in service that they have to serve in Iraq, Iran, all these things. Because I think our military presence around the globe may not be correct.
Yeah.
So I'm also saying yes, we should do that, but I'm not saying that we should send our boys to different countries which we shouldn't be in the first place, because I think that's a different conversation. It's different context. So I think that is appropriate if we get that right, that we're only in countries where we appropriately need to be in those countries, and we're not just jumping out the window and fighting wars for other people if we don't need to fight wars. Do we need to
be in other people's countries?
That's the question. We are a small island, but anyway, that's just political stuff, financial stuff that we need to think through. But that's another question. The first question is, should they go? My answer, yes to the Rascal. Yes.
Send them, yeah?
Send them gone. And let me tell you why.
Because you got daughters. I ain't sending my son go nowhere.
So what I'm saying is there may be a context in which it's appropriate to do something similar for women.
Okay.
So it may not be that they go into the frontline army. Maybe it's something that maybe they serve in the army in different contexts. Maybe
I don't think we could even do that no more. You could
separate.
You could even separate. You would have to treat them both exactly the same.
100%.
So if a 16-year-old boy's going front line, 16-year-old females going front.
To be fair,
and also 16-year-old them's going front line as well.
Yeah, that's a fact. So this is why we should do it. I think this answers the question of thee, them, there, and all of this. This is what I generally think. This is me. I'm bantering, but I'm also so serious about this. Now I'm thinking about it. I think sending your son specifically to serve in the military or in the army changes the nation. What I mean by that is, I think, again, I could be wrong because I've never been in the army. I could be. People in the army have been saying the total opposite. People who have gone through military service have been like, an army saying, no, we should not bring back national service.
so people that have experienced and actually lived the life and saying, I get it. You haven't been
me, I'm in a dream world. But in this dream world, I see men being men.
Okay.
So I think but the ages when you're post 16 is such a forming time for your mind, scientifically, biologically, as well as your experiences and things of that nature. And I think if you're in the army, you're disciplined, you understand what discipline is, you understand about taking care of yourself. There's some protocols, again, in the ideal world, because I've never been in the army, I think that would be good implementations for men. And then I think over the years, it will weed out a lot of the nonsense that I think our generation is going through. I think because we live in a quote unquote easy life, go sit in your yard, watch social media, play on games, he, them, she, them, her, we, them, all of that, LGBTQ, the alphabet boys, all of that stuff, yeah, makes you're trying to hold back the laughter, I can tell. I'm trying to hold back the laughter. All of this,
I know Andrew Tate's gone, but
listen, bring it back. Listen, all of this madness, I think, can be healed with proper mentorship in a proper army, military base, camaraderie, all of that sort of stuff, I think can be built. Now, I'm talking, I've never stepped foot in the army once in my life, so I may be so completely wrong, but in the ideal world, that's my thoughts.
Do you not think that is a very misogynistic view? Like the army you're talking about is
1980.
Back. Yeah, you're taking back that statement of men should be men.
What? Are men not supposed to be men? Is that what
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Is that not misogynistic in this day and age?
No. Yeah, someone's going to call me misogynistic. Yeah, someone's going to call me misogynistic. Whether they're right is the question.
Yeah. Well, it's opinion.
Whether we want a world full of people who are able to be... You got to be careful with the words these days when they're looking at you.
You do have to be careful.
Listen, on a real, because I've been bantering a little bit, but on a real, if it depends on the world you want to create and leave behind. And I think there is a big worry about the world that we're leaving behind.
Yeah.
I think the world in 20, 40 years' time is going to be totally different. I think the Western world, I think Britain, England specifically, is going to be a totally different place in 30, 40 years' time. And I think what we do now is going to transform the generations to come.
Yeah. It always has, though. It always 100%. Has.
And I look at the generation today, and I don't know if I'm confident in terms of when I'm in the old people's home, if there's going to be an old people's home, or what the world's going to look like when we're at that age. So I just think we've got to make decisions looking forward, not just based on, oh, little Timmy, he likes playing games. Oh, is he going to be able to cope in the army? We got to think about, what do we want in 30 years' time?
Like Timmy, man. Timmy just wants to play his little game, bro.
Timmy Turner. Anyway, we got to think about the world in the future and what do we want. And in my view, and then again, it might be the wrong view, I just want to bring it to the table. So
do you not think like that maybe this? So they got military college. You can do military college. Yep. Do you not think this should be an option, or this should be mandatory for people that are not doing anything? So you get to 16, you say, you know what? I can't afford to go college. I don't want to work. I'm just gonna do up road, or I'm going to be a YouTuber. Yeah, 100%. So I think that's more realistic. I feel like if you get to when do they finish school?
18, 17.
May.
Yeah.
If you get to September
you don't know what
and you're not enrolled on anything, you're not doing nothing, then maybe that should be, you know what? You need to attend military college. Or, because like you said, then it teaches you discipline, it teaches you self-respect, it teaches you all of, wow. So I've heard. I've never been in the military. I don't know. I probably would have never lasted in the military. But I'm not saying for everybody. Yeah, I guess these are the ramifications. Like I'd bow my knee. I'd take the hat off and say, okay, only military school. For people who are not in military education and training or college school. Yeah. So I could say that. That's cool. I didn't win the whole race, but I won a lap. So I'm calm with that. I'm calm with that. But either way, I still think that should be a solid. I think we should push that. Yeah, I just think we should push it. Well, like us, like the Broken Generation. I think the Broken Generation should be sponsored by. Write to Richard. Is it still Richard? Richard Graham. Shout out to him. Write to Richard and say. You wanna present this in Parliament? In Parliament, yeah. If you want to send him a white paper, if he's gonna support your claim, support him back to bring back national service. Yeah, I think that would be something interesting. I think it would do something great for taking pride in our country, instilling a sense of pride in Britain amongst our youth. I think a lot of, again, I'm just assuming, but I think we don't care about the country. No, the young people, I don't think they care about that. I think they care about themselves, their individual worldview, and they don't care about collectively what's going on with everyone else. And I think that, in one estimation, will make them care a bit more about one another. And that over time, we may not get it right for the first 5 years, but
over time, over 20 years,
But what about-
that future of people, that generation of people is going to be great.
But that 5 years of people where we've got it wrong, that is 5 years of people that it's been wrong.
It's life, innit?
That's still the next people that are going to run this country.
Brother, we've been, whether we think that's the answer or not, the last 5
I guess
years,
we've been
have
getting
we
it
been getting it
wrong.
right?
Yeah.
That's the question, yeah.
And if it's not mandatory for everyone, it's only for those that
Are
don't
wayward.
have any plans.
Yeah.
Then the people that are meant to go on to be prime ministers, and they're still going on their path.
Yeah.
Like they're still being uni and doing A levels and doing politics. It's the people that are not on any path, which I can't argue with that. That I can't argue with. War, I don't know about no war.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying send them to war, because I don't think we're in a time and age where war is the same as war once was.
Yeah.
Maybe again in these certain countries where we're trying to gain political power and this, that, and the other, which again is another conversation I don't think we should be doing. But I think for the country, I think that's the best thing for the country, in my humble opinion.
You'll be seeing kids AWOL. That's original AWOL, isn't it?
What do you mean AWOL? And they're running away from the army and things?
Yeah, AWOL is
Okay,
AWOL's
yeah.
the original term. That
Yeah.
Imagine every youth's gonna turn 16, leave school,
missing
and
in
suddenly
service,
they're gone. But do you know what though? That even, not to say that this is something I agree with, but that may even reduce immigration. Because if you come to England and cool, you get all of this life, but big man, as soon as you hit 16,
Yeah.
you're going in the army, brother.
Yeah.
You know, or you're going to military school if you're not gonna work.
Yeah.
You might have second guesses about coming here and doing.
So I think that alone would, not that alone, but that would help in so many other areas of Britain. Does that make sense? But again,
we know the army is institutionally racist as well. It may
Yep.
not be a good thing for people. I forgot what the minority races,
minority, yeah.
unless we can integrate everything into it.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be a bold white man that stands at the top shouting at people. It needs to be a collective of different experiences, different people. Like we can't go back to that army.
Yeah,
It has to be.
And
Look,
the army-
this brother, it's like you're selling it to me. Now I'm thinking, actually, you know what?
No, but for real.
But I'm saying for people that are not working, people that are not
100%.
got any plans. I'm
And
not
in
saying for
the
everyone.
army would look different in 2023 than it did in 1950.
100%.
It will look different in 2040.
young black brothers in there. I'm trying doing that road.
it's gonna look totally different in 2040 than it does today.
Yeah.
So like even in terms of there might be some physical elements to it, but in terms of mentally, okay, what AI looks like, what technology looks like what we understand about army, war, and those kind of things, protection and defense, will look totally different. And in terms of, okay, there might be an easy way to go from the army to the police, or from the army to other services in the UK, and have that connection where there is, I've got pride for this country. Therefore, when I serve as a policeman or a police officer, or when I serve in this area or that area, there should
I'm
be a
serving
sense
for
of,
the country, not for my
come
people.
on, my brother, this is the thing. Fam.
So, what about youth offending, young youth offending?
I was going to talk about that, yeah.
So that seems like a natural. There's a lot of prisons, and a lot of institutions that focus around criminal behavior. Like once you hit 16 and youth offending, you go to adult prison. That period could be used to go to a military college, and maybe it's a military college where you have to stay in, but you're doing.
100%. I think that's an easy win. Even if it's just in terms of words, even if it's easy to say, in reality it might be totally different.
No, it's obviously it's different because they would do it if it was easy as that.
And it's going to be 1,000% different in terms of the transition, the costings on the government in terms of finances, what's going to look like for the next few years, how we're going to fund it, this, that, and the other.
I feel like it would be cheaper to take someone to a military college than it would be to keep them in prison. What's a prisoner?
100%.
Prisoners are loads of money.
No, what I mean is, in terms of, that's a brand new institution that now needs to house
needs funding.
Loads more people than they do currently. Do you know what I mean?
But surely it would reduce the amount of people in prison.
I think it would reduce the amount of money spent in so many different areas. So obviously prison services in terms of
unemployment.
So there's so many other areas which it would reduce. But again,
Right to Richard, man.
Bun Richard, man. We need Rush. What's Rush? What's the
Oh,
name?
remember last time you got it completely wrong?
I'm just gonna say Big R. I don't know his name. I'm gonna say his name wrong. I'm just gonna say Big R, innit? Whatever.
Right to Big R.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
Big R trying to push.
Yeah. Trying to push army life.
Trying to push that same like you and me. Never ever spent a second in the
Never ever
army.
will.
Never will.
Never ever will. But it's easy to say.
But
that's a
he's
fact.
pushing it now
That's a
and saying
fact.
this is a. But you know what? It's a conversation. It's a conversation for a new version.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the 1960s version.
It's a new version, yeah.
We're talking about a new version that's being developed in this day and age.
Yeah.
But then, like you said right at the start, not for people that's got mental health. We'll see we would see a massive rise
in people claiming they've got mental health
Of
diagnosis.
course, every big. But you do not want to
And
go
this is the
to army
thing.
college, or you got anxiety,
So
or depression.
the mental health diagnosis would have to be specifics, and you'd have to fund the people because you'd have to go to a proper place to get it diagnosed.
Okay.
You couldn't just the current system couldn't tell you that you're diagnosed with mental health diagnosis. It has to be a special system, so that would be more funding. And that might be a best place for someone who has mental health issues.
Possibly.
Do you know what I mean? If you've got anxiety, and depression, this might be something that's got you focused.
Yeah,
and giving you a clear understanding of routine.
Yeah, well, as most people know, routine is one of the most important things when it comes to mental health. So, yeah, you've got big one. You're looking at me like you convinced me. You haven't convinced me, but you've got an argument for a new version.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think that's fixed the broken generation.
No, we
need the army, yeah.
We
and then there is no broken generation.
Done.
It's just generation. It's a good generation, cuz nothing's broken no more.
What is called the new or the fixed generation.
Fixed
National
generation.
service.
Yeah.
So how long do you think before we start to see the effect of this new national service?
If it was to
run. Started, what are we, 2024?
If it started in 2024,
10 years,
I reckon
5 years?
10 years it would be perfect. But I think
10 years it would be
10 years would be perfect. But I think there would be a long. That's the risk, because we're not going to get it right immediately. There's going to be so many people falling through the cracks, getting it. But the question is, are we going to be able to sustain it to the end? Because it will get there. The question is it 5 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 8 years? Is it 9 years? Until it starts to get making sense. And then what are we going to do to support those people in those 9 years where it didn't go to plan?
And the thing is, once you've come out of that college, 2 years, are there going to be jobs available? What are you doing then?
So it could be split in terms of you have to serve, but you also have to do education at the same time or something like that. And the likelihood is if people get into the army, they're probably going to stay in the army, because that's how they are. Like,
it's going to have a massive influx of
facts.
an army. Then that'll be a reason for us to go to war.
Yeah, it has to be a reason. That's
Flex. We need to flex.
to flex our muscles.
Yeah, we need to go to war just to flex. You know what? We've took an additional 2 million people.
And the fear,
we need to go to war.
The fear that other countries would have if they said, "Oh, right, they've just reinstated national service."
Yeah.
They might. I don't know.
That might even send us to war.
That's correct. The fear might send us to war.
Jeez, I was a mad one still.
Yeah, brother.
I was a mad one.
First of all, shout out to anyone that's been in the army. Comment below, what was your experience?
Yeah.
Because I think that's interesting to hear what the experiences of some people were. Because some people had a really horrible time. Some people had a great time. I know people who's been in the army and they loved it. Not even the army, the Navy. Navy. And he said it was the best time of his life. He's made friends forever and he loved it. So, cool, man.
Get me in the RAF, man. I'll do the RAF.
Yeah.
Fly the planes and that. Oh, no, actually.
Robotically, though.
Yeah.
With a PlayStation controller.
Yeah. Back in the base. Yeah, I'll be in the base.
Yeah.
Flying the planes. They're big money, you know. Be one of them drone operators. Yeah, you're looking they probably get paid more than the pilots.
That's pretty decent.
Mad. People, let us know what you think. National service, should it be brought back? Should it stay buried? Should there be a new version of the national service? Should it be focused at people not in education and training? There's a million questions.
Millions.
And like we say, join the discussion. I have been Danger, ITZ Danger on the Instagram.
I go by the name of last name Henry on Instagram. Holler at me.
We are the Broken Generation. Big man, tell them where they can find everything else.
Google
Oh, just Google.
Google.
You got shows coming up.
Oh, apologies. Is this the time when I plug my? Oh, okay, random.
Huh? What? Whoa! Ignite! Whoa! Do you need some time alone?
Whoa! I don't know where that go. You know, people say, "Oh, I was gonna plug my."
I don't know what you're plugging, brother.
Random. Jesus Christ!
Why?
Look, October the 11th, Wednesday, October the 11th, at the Vine in Cheltenham, the pub in Cheltenham. They do great food, starting at 7:30. But all going well. We've got some incredible acts coming down. Some from out of the city, definitely out of the city. Some from out of the town. Some from out of the county. Some from down in London. Either way, it's going to be a splendid night. Free entry. Come in, buy some drinks, bring your friends, have a laugh. It's going to be hilarious. You're going to love it. Also, follow my Instagrams, innit? Instagrams. I'm just gonna say it like I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm just leave it like that. Instagrams, innit?
And people, Broken Generation Live.
Ooh,
will be coming.
It's coming soon, innit?
Early next year.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we in
it
September.
Won't be this year.
Yeah. Early next year. Broken Generation
we're
Live.
Gonna sit down and we're gonna go live. And we need people. Whether you want to come and join us, or whether you just want to come in the crowd, we're gonna go live. If it works, we don't know. But we're only going to find out if we do
it. Yeah, let's do it as a vibe.
We're going to go live, people. 2024, we're going to go live.
Early 2024, yeah.
We're doing it. And we are... Aight.
Blessings.